Hey everyone, and welcome to the Milan Soccer Club Podcast. I'm Alice, and I'm here with Paul. Today we are, still trying to process what we saw last night, right, Paul?
Alice, I'm beyond frustrated. I'm talking about the AC Milan loss against Napoli, a 2-1 defeat that honestly feels like a punch in the gut. We're going to dissect this this match, and try to figure out how our beloved Milan is managing to self-destruct so spectacularly.
Okay, so for anyone who missed the game or, like me, is trying to block it from their memory, let's recap. We're going to break down Milan's atrocious defensive showing, Conceicao's, interesting coaching choices, and the very real danger that Milan might not even sniff a European competition next season. We'll talk about Leao's impact when he finally decided to show up, the missed penalty, and the recurring nightmare of conceding early goals. Buckle up, folks. This is going to be a rough one.
Exactly, Alice. So to everyone listening, let's start with what was, frankly, an embarrassing start. We're talking about conceding a goal after just 75 seconds. 75 seconds. It's an absolute joke. A team like AC Milan cannot afford to sleepwalk onto the pitch like that. And the defending? Don't even get me started on Pavlovic and Theo Hernandez. What were they even doing?
Okay, Paul, deep breaths. But seriously, 75 seconds? What happened? Walk us through the goal. Like, what specific mistakes did Pavlovic and Theo make?
All right, Alice. So, the goal. It was a play down Napoli's right side, right? Di Lorenzo played a ball over the top, and Politano made a run in behind. Pavlovic, I don't even know what he was thinking. He was caught completely flat-footed, failed to track Politano's run, and Theo, well, he was just as bad. He didn't coordinate with Pavlovic at all. Politano just waltzed in between them, and bam, goal. I mean, it was almost comical how easy it was, like they were inviting Napoli to score. And to be honest, it set the tone for the whole damn match. It was clear that they weren't ready, they weren't focused, and they sure as hell weren't communicating.
Okay, so defensive disarray right from the kickoff. And it didn't stop there, did it? Lukaku then scored a second goal due to, you guessed it, more defensive mishaps?
Oh, it gets better, Alice. It gets much better. The second goal was just painful. Milan lost the ball in their own half, a terrible giveaway. Gilmour slipped a pass to Lukaku, who found himself one-on-one with Maignan. And Lukaku's going to bury that 9 times out of 10. But what's infuriating is the space he had. Gabbia and Pavlovic both went to close down the initial ball carrier, leaving Lukaku completely unmarked. It was a total breakdown of defensive structure. You can't give a striker like Lukaku that kind of space. It's suicide.
So, Paul, it sounds like the defense was a complete mess. I mean, Ambrosini even called it inexplicable, how Milan keeps conceding early goals. Why do you think this keeps happening? Is it a tactical issue? Is it a mentality problem? Or is it just bad luck?
Alice, with all due respect to Ambrosini, inexplicable is a cop-out. It's a combination of things, but luck has nothing to do with it. It's a recurring pattern. It's definitely a mentality problem. They seem to lack the focus and intensity required from the first whistle. They're not switched on, they're not aggressive enough, and they're not organized. Tactically, Conceicao needs to drill them better. The defensive line needs to be more disciplined, the midfielders need to provide more cover, and the communication has to be crystal clear. But honestly, I think it starts with the mentality. They need to come out with a fire in their belly, ready to fight for every ball, to defend with their lives. And right now, they just look soft.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. So it sounds like Conceicao needs to light a fire under him and quick. But let's talk about Conceicao's other decisions, specifically starting Joao Felix over Leao. I mean, the reports are pretty scathing. They're saying Joao Felix had a disastrous game. Why on earth would Conceicao make that call?
Alice, I'm beyond baffled by this. It's mind-boggling. Joao Felix has been consistently underperforming. He looks lost out there, and he offers absolutely nothing in terms of attacking threat or defensive work rate. And Leao? Leao is our most dangerous player. He's the one guy who can create something out of nothing, who can terrorize defenders with his pace and skill. So, to leave him on the bench, it's just, I don't understand the logic. It makes absolutely no sense. It's like Conceicao is deliberately trying to sabotage the team.
Okay, but I mean, maybe Conceicao saw something in training that we didn't. Maybe he had a specific tactical reason for starting Joao Felix.
Alice, come on. I am tired to hear these justifications. What tactical reason could possibly justify benching your best player for a guy who looks like he's never played football before? Seriously, what was Joao Felix even doing out there? The reports say that Conceicao was screaming at him in both Italian and Portuguese, and still nothing. The guy was a ghost. He offered absolutely nothing. No creativity, no drive, no defensive contribution. It's like he was actively trying to make the team worse. I mean, I like the guy, but what can you do?
Okay, I get it. You're not a fan of the Joao Felix experiment. But to be fair, Leao didn't exactly set the world on fire when he came on, did he? I mean, he made an impact, sure, but it wasn't like he single-handedly turned the game around.
Alice, you're right. He didn't score a hat trick and win the game on his own, but Leao completely changed the dynamic. He injected pace, energy, and a genuine threat into our attack. Suddenly, Napoli's defense was on their heels. He created several chances, he drew fouls, and he was instrumental in the goal that Jovic scored. And most importantly, he showed that he cared. He showed that he wanted to win. And that's more than I can say for most of the other players on the pitch in the first half. So, yeah, he didn't single-handedly win the game, but he proved, once again, that he needs to be starting every single match.
So Leao's impact was undeniable, even if it wasn't enough to salvage the game. But let's talk about the bigger picture here, Paul. Milan is currently 9th in the table, a whopping 9 points away from a Champions League spot. Are our European hopes officially dead?
Alice, let's be brutally honest here. Champions League is a pipe dream. It's gone. Kaput. Finito. We're 9 points behind, and there are several teams ahead of us playing better football. But it's not just Champions League. We are struggling to qualify even for the Conference League. We're 5 points behind Roma, who are currently in the Conference League spot. 5 points. And with the way we're playing, I wouldn't bet on us closing that gap anytime soon.
Okay, so things are looking bleak. I mean, the article pointed out that we are also 4 points from the 8th spot, and that still doesn't ensure any European competition. So, what needs to change? I mean, is it time for a complete overhaul of the squad, or is there still hope that Conceicao can turn things around?
Alice, I'm starting to lose faith in Conceicao. I have to be honest. His tactical decisions have been questionable, his team selections have been baffling, and he doesn't seem to be able to motivate the players. A complete overhaul of the squad might be necessary in the summer, but right now, we need a miracle. We need Conceicao to find a way to get the best out of these players, to instill some discipline and organization, and to find a winning formula. And we need it fast because our upcoming matches are absolutely crucial.
Right? We have some tough games coming up against direct competitors for European spots. Fiorentina, Atalanta, Roma, Bologna. These are all must-win games, aren't they?
Absolutely. If we lose those games, we can kiss our European hopes goodbye. It's as simple as that. We need to show some fight, some determination, and some quality. We need Leao to be at his best. We need the defense to be solid, and we need Conceicao to make the right decisions. It's a huge challenge, but it's not impossible. But if we continue to play like we did against Napoli, we're doomed.
Okay, so the pressure is on, but let's not forget about the missed penalty. Gimenez had a chance to make it 2-1 and potentially change the whole game. How much of an impact did that missed penalty have on the final result?
It was huge, Alice. A game changer. If Gimenez scores that penalty, it's a completely different ballgame. Suddenly, Napoli is under pressure. We have the momentum, and we might have been able to snatch a draw or even a win. But he missed, and he missed badly. It was a weak penalty, right at the keeper, and it just deflated the whole team. It was a massive blow to our confidence, and it made it even harder to get back into the game. I mean, come on. What was Pulisic thinking when he let Gimenez take the penalty? If there is a specific order, and Pulisic is the one to kick, he has to kick it. Those decisions can cost a game, and ultimately can cost a season.
Okay, so a missed opportunity that could have changed everything. And then Jovic scored a late consolation goal, assisted by Theo Hernandez. Too little, too late, right?
Exactly, Alice. It was a nice goal, a well-worked move between Theo and Jovic, but it was just a consolation. It came way too late in the game to make a real difference. It showed that we have the quality to score goals, but we need to be more consistent, more clinical, and more ruthless in front of goal. And we need to start scoring earlier in the game, not when we're already 2-0 down.
So, Paul, let's wrap this up. What's the main takeaway from this game? What's the one thing that Milan needs to fix if they want to salvage anything from this season?
Alice, the main takeaway is that we need a complete attitude adjustment. We need to stop making stupid defensive errors. We need Conceicao to make smarter decisions. And we need the players to show some passion and commitment. Champions League is gone, but we can still fight for a European spot. But if we don't change our approach, if we don't start playing with some pride and determination, we're going to end up with nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, that's certainly a sobering thought. Let's hope Milan can turn things around in the upcoming matches. It's going to be a tough road ahead, but maybe, just maybe they can surprise us. Thanks for your insights, Paul. Always a pleasure, even when we're dissecting a painful loss.
Anytime, Alice. Thanks for having me. And to all the Milan fans out there, don't lose hope. Keep supporting the team, and let's hope they can give us something to cheer about soon, even if it's just a little bit.
All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to the Milan Soccer Club Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us for more Milan news, analysis, and opinions. And let us know what you think in the comments. Are you still holding out hope for a European spot? Or is it time to start looking ahead to next season? Let us know. Until next time, Forza Milan.